Alright, buckle up. You asked for brutally honest, and that's exactly what you'll get. They're so loving that they become freeloaders. They're extremely persistent. They're so generous because they give you something you really don't want. For most of them, your comfort, it's irrelevant. Your health, a potential casualty. Their life cycle is a relentless pursuit of sustenance and reproduction at your expense. They don't care about your organic shampoo or your meticulously cleaned carpets. They just want your fluids and a place to lay their disgusting little eggs. We're talking about arthropods of medical importance, which is just a fancy way of saying they either make you sick or we steal their bodily fluids for science. For the free living ones, they're just out there existing, like the weird uncle at a family gathering. But the parasitic ones, oh, their life cycle is less circle of life and more downward spiral of your comfort. They latch on, they suck, they breed like it's the end of days, which for your sanity it might feel like. Behold, the horseshoe crab, a creature so old its dating profile would proudly say survived the Permian extinction. It has outlived the dinosaurs, watched the pyramids go up, the Roman Empire collapse, and yes, it lived to see Crocs become a fashion statement. And for its loyalty to life on Earth, we stab it and take its blood. Introducing Limulus Life Tech, because bleeding Asian sea tanks for medical profits didn't look good on brochure. This walking can opener comes with a helmet-shaped carapace, 5 pairs of legs because evolution said more is more, book gills perfect for breathing underwater and awkwardly on land, and a tail spine that doesn't stab you but helps it flip over when he's dumped on his back by researchers with a schedule. But the real prize? That blue blood full of amoebocytes that panic at bacterial toxins. So we steal it to test your vaccines, IV bags, and pretty much anything labeled sterile. Its life cycle? Slow growth, regular molting like a crusty cosplay king, and a romantic yearly beach outing, which is cut short when we kidnap it for a reverse blood donation. So next time you survive surgery without sepsis, thank the horseshoe crab. It bled for it, literally. We have the scorpion, basically a walking do not disturb sign. It is armed with pincers up front and a venom filled butt needle in the back. This little guy is built like a medieval torture device with mommy issues, and it's so devoted. It carries its babies around on its back like a spiky walking daycare. That stinger? It delivers venom tailored to paralyze prey and ruin your hike. And those pincers, technically called pedipalps, which sounds cute until they're clamped on your finger. And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, they breathe through book lungs, which literally means long pages. But what do? We see its venom and go, oh, neurotoxic peptides. Let's put that in a test tube. Introducing Scorpiosculpt, where we'll milk its venom like it's liquid gold. Because apparently it can treat brain tumors, arthritis, and maybe your inability to focus in meetings. So while it's out there hunting crickets and minding its business, we're sticking it in a lab with tweezers and hope. Fun fact, to get the venom, researchers literally zap them until they squirt. It's like a science fair meets so far, but for your health.
Now, meet ticks, nature's tiniest, laziest vampires, and your personal circulatory catalyst. I mean, why go hunting when you can just sit on grass, wait for a passing mammal buffet like this one, and bam, dig your face straight into their skin? Ticks don't suck. No, wait. Actually, they do. A lot. Literally. You'll spot them with their massive scutum. You know, that fancy looking shield on their back like this one. If you're gonna be a freeloader, might as well wear armor, right? Up front, they're short, stubby palps that are so perfect for shoving their blood straw, or fancily called hypostome, deep into your skin, because subtlety is overrated. And around the edges, festoons, or those bumpy notches on their back. Basically, they accessorize with tiny butt ruffles. Fashion and function. Oh, and when they bite, they spit out cement like saliva to glue themselves on. You can probably end up with Lyme disease or babesiosis. And we have these micro-sized bloodsuckers to thank for. They don't just attach, they renovate your skin into their forever home. Ticks, bringing armor, straws, glue, and bumpy ruffles to every blood buffet near you.
And now, meet the crayfish, nature's little armored tank that nobody asked for. They're basically underwater cockroaches that cosplay with their pincers, antennae, and hardened exoskeleton. Oh yeah, they swim backwards too, because why move forward in life when you can just retreat everywhere you go in panic, right? And these claws, just not for show, they'll pinch you out of nowhere like your sneaky little siblings under the table. Ouch. But hey, they also make them ecosystem engineers, which means they dig a lot and they kind of mess everything up, but in a good way. And how do they swim? These tiny leg flaps? These are called your swimmerets. They do a lot of things actually. They swim, they can sense, they can help breathe, hold eggs in females and in males. Yup, they double as sperm delivery tools. Who knew the crayfish's butt limbs were the Swiss Army knives of the crustacean world? And what about their diet? Well, literally everything. Dead fish, rotting leaves, maybe your hopes and dreams. They're like the garbage disposals of fresh water, just maybe with more legs and less regard for, personal space. But here's the little kicker. Despite being swamp gremlins with an attitude, we need them. They clean up the ecosystem, feed fish, and remind us that even the weirdest looking bottom dweller can be useful. So thank you, crayfish, nature's feisty janitor for you. You're welcome. Yes, the barnacle. The crusty little freeloaders of the sea. Basically, if you've ever wanted your boat to, grow its own wart colony, these guys got you covered. Can you imagine little dude is related to Mr. Crayfish before this? But instead of walking or doing anything remotely exciting, barnacles just say, nah, I'm gonna glue myself to this pipe forever and just vibe. And how do they eat? With their freaky little fingers that they wave around like spirit fingers to catch plankton. It's like dinner and an interpretative dance all in one. Sure, they can ruin your boats, hulls, docks, and your will to scrub things. But plot twist, they're actually helpful. They filter water, create habitats, and are basically just the ocean's squatter turned janitors. So yeah, barnacles. Crusty, clingy, and living proof that sometimes doing absolutely nothing can still make you vital to the ecosystem. Behold the copepod, the ocean's version of glitter. Tiny, impossible to get rid of, and literally everywhere. Seriously, there are trillions of these microscopic sea bugs just vibing in your drinking water and judging your life choices. They've got jointed legs, a hard exoskeleton, and zero chill at all. They move like they're late to an underwater panic attack. And yes, that's one creepy cyclopean eye. Just one, staring forever, because nothing says trustworthy like a one-eyed transparent shrimp might, right? And their role? Sucking everything in like biological vacuums and Roombas and turning it into fish food. That's right, it's what almost everything in the ocean eats. So they're basically the protein shake providers of the sea. So yeah, they're small, weird, and swimming in places you don't want to think about, but without them, the whole food chain comes crashing down harder than your group chat at 2 a.m.
Meet Daphnia, the water flea. No, it's not a flea. No, it doesn't live on dogs. But yes, it is a tiny, translucent, panicky blob that lives in your local pond. Why translucent, you might ask? Because modesty is for cowards. Daphnia proudly shows off all of its organs, eggs, and even its anxiety in real time and in full HD. This little crustacean is living proof that you don't need size, bones, or dignity to thrive in a pond full of predators. By the way, Daphnia hearts beat almost 300 times per minute, not because they're super excited, but because everything wants to eat them. Oh, and sometimes they just clone themselves, no mate required. It's called parthenogenesis, or in other words, independent female behavior. Introducing the shrimp, the ocean's crunchy little treats. The shrimp is proof that you can be a spineless bottom dweller and still end up on a 5-star menu. You've seen them in your sushi, your tempura, and your overpriced seafood cocktails. But did you know they also have commitment issues? They constantly shed their exoskeletons like a celebrity rebranding. Segmented body? Check. Jointed legs? Check. Identity crisis between bug and seafood? Absolutely check. They come equipped with compound eyes and antennae so long it's longer than their life expectancy. One might think with antennae so long they got Wi-Fi under the sea. I might be wrong, but with shrimp, nothing says thriving species like being delicious in garlic butter.
The great outdoors. Peaceful, calm, until they arrive. Mosquitoes, members of the family Culicidae, one of nature's worst design choices. Let's break it down. Armed with a piercing sucking proboscis, they don't bite, they stab you, drink your blood, and leave you itching for more. With just one pair of antennae, they detect your body heat and sweat like some flying blood-fueled bounty hunter. All six of their legs are attached to their thorax like some creepy little insect Frankenstein. Mosquitoes, members of the family Culicidae. Before they're flying nuisances, they're aquatic nightmares. Let's meet the lineup. Anopheles larvae float parallel to the surface like corpses in a crime scene. No siphon, just spiracles. Creepy, efficient, classic. Aedes hangs at an angle, all edgy and dramatic. Their short, stout breathing tube, like a built-in snorkel. Culex larvae, angled like Aedes but with a long noodle-like siphon and multiple pairs of tufts. Overkill? Maybe. Creepy? Definitely. Once grown, things somehow get worse. Anopheles, the minimalists of mosquito hell. Their body and stabbing proboscis align perfectly like a precision-engineered syringe. Their palps, same length as the proboscis because symmetry matters when you're spreading malaria. Wings, black and white spotted like a bad Halloween costume. Abdomen, pointed like the end of a bad decision. Color, dingy brown, perfect camouflage for creeping up at dusk. Anopheles, the minimalist, 80s doesn't sneak. It struts, black and white striped like it's trying to win most stylish bloodsucker. Their body leans forward aggressively. Proboscis aim like a dart. Palps shorter than the proboscis. Wings are clean, no spots, just tools of silent attack. Abdomen sharply pointed. Color as bold as their behavior. These are your dengue and Zika specialists. Third is the Culex, the one that ruins your sleep. Pale yellow brown, built like a forgettable blur, but it bites with a vengeance. The body and proboscis are angled too, just like the 80s, but with less flair. Palps, still shorter than the proboscis, nothing new. Wings, plain. Abdomen, blunt. Personality, passive aggressive. The only thing they deliver faster than bites is the West Nile virus. Third is the Culex, the one that ruins your mosquitoes. Ugly, unwanted, unkillable, brought to you by the family Calicidae, Mother Nature's worst mistake. Worry not, introducing Larvoid, the next gen OV trap in mosquito population erasure. Not just a trap, a life cycle annihilator disguised as a puddle with purpose, designed to lure, hatch, and send them straight to the void. Larvoid leverages instinct against instinct. Female mosquitoes mistake it for the perfect nursery, but what they're really getting is a high efficient execution chamber. Eggs go in, larvae hatch, and that's it. No wings, no buzz, no itchy aftermath. But Larvoid isn't just about destruction, it's also about data. By letting the larvae grow to about half an inch, Larvoid ensures optimal identification because trying to ID a species too early is like doing a mugshot lineup with embryos. Larvoid, zero flight, zero future, designed to lure, hatch, and send them straight to the void.
Let's go over two winged insects. Nature's buzzing, biting, fluttering answer to the question, what if we gave tiny nightmares the power of flight? And the best part? Each winged insect order comes with its own custom wing design. Because why make things simple when you can have inconsistency? As you can see, each insect order comes with different type of front and back wings. These are just some of the terms used to describe the morphological characteristics of insect wings. Let's go over two winged insects. Nature's buzzing, biting, fluttering ants. With insects, no two orders could agree on what a front wing should be. Some turned theirs into shields, others into sails, and a few just gave up entirely and downsized for budget cuts. Their back wings? Also a mess. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small, sometimes they're decorative, and occasionally they're just gone. So whether it's hardened, membranous, reduced, or straight up confusing, insect wings just prove one thing. Evolution was not aiming for consistency, just results.
And wings are great, until you remember that not every arthropod was built for flight. Some arthropods skip the wings, ask for some legs, and lots of weird mouths too, and some segmented chaos. So, let's meet the rest of the squad. First, we've got the no antennae weirdos, like spiders, and they come with venomous face parts called chelicerae and cram all 8 legs into the front half like it's a clown car. Then we have the crustaceans, the crabs, shrimps, copepods living their best segmented lives with 2 pairs of antennae, mouth parts built to slice, dice, or filter, and legs bursting from their thorax like an arthropod Black Friday sale. Millipedes and centipedes? Basically walking noodles. Millipedes are gentle decomposers with 2 pairs of legs per segment. And centipedes? 1 pair per segment, and the first one's a weapon. Same body plan, but very different vibe. And of course, the insects. The classic trio of head, thorax, and abdomen, 6 legs on the thorax, and mouth parts ranging from chewing to stabbing to sucking, like this mosquito, which you met earlier and probably still hate. And of course, the insects. So, whether you bite, Pinch, stab, or just vibe with too many legs. There's pretty much an arthropod for that.